Hi, everyone. I hope this message finds you doing well. Today is a conversation around another form of equity compensation, which is called RSUs, or restricted stock units. What is an RSU, or a restricted stock unit? Well, a restricted stock unit is a way to compensate an employee or an executive in a way that gives them actual shares of your company with typically some time vesting requirement to it. As an example, you pay an executive the equivalent of $100,000 of their compensation in the form of a restricted stock unit. That restricted stock unit is based upon today's price of that stock, and maybe that stock vests over a 4-year period where I receive 25% after a year after the grant, right? Grant being when it is given. And then the other 25% every year thereafter, okay? I, as the employee, in order to receive that as my compensation, I have to be with your company for that time allotment in order for those shares to vest and me to have that as part of my compensation. If I leave before that vesting date, I forfeit those stock units. So it's a way that you can create some continuity and retention with those executives. There's always going to be an element of forfeiture if you create this compensation every year as a part of a compensation package. As an example, we work with many executives in companies that, regardless of how long they've been there, there's always an element of their compensation that's non-vested, meaning that each year if you get a grant and it's a 4-year graded vesting schedule in the example that I just gave, even if I've been with the company for 20 years, I just received another grant that if I leave today, that grant, I'm walking away from that grant. And so it's a way to create a retention strategy by giving equity compensation to that employee and executive to keep them around. But by them also having ownership of the company, they should have alignment with the financial interest of the organization. And so it's also a way to not only retain that talent through the grants being structured over many years with their compensation, but because that employee and executive now has ownership, actual physical stock in that company, their interests are aligned with ownership, which is we want to drive the stock price up. So we want now to do things that help increase revenue, increase profitability. We want to help recruit talent to the organization. It brings an element of alignment to that organization as well with their leadership team. If you've got interest in learning more about RSUs, please message us through our social media. Hop on our website at instrumentalwealth.com. We'd love to have a deeper conversation with you around this if this is of interest. Thanks. I hope you have a great day.